All right, so it is October the 3rd, and fairly pleasant today. I think it's around 10 Celsius. I think it's time to do a final harvest, pull everything off, see if I can ripen some of these peppers, like inside. Just pull them all up. There's no point in prolonging this. Like I think it was down to -3 last night, and that's about like 26 Fahrenheit. And I think it's just time now. For the last month or so, I've had cloth that I pull over, and I've been keeping them warm, at least like at night. You could see where the plants are definitely not looking great. So, but because of the cloth, I mean, they aren't dead. I could probably keep them going for another week or so. It's probably going to start to get warmer again. But the fact of the matter is we have personal things happening. We might have to leave town, and there's not much point in leaving the peppers up. I've got quite a few that are ripe. So what I am going to do is I'm going to pull them all off. I think I'm going to get the seeds out. I'm going to maybe place the peppers themselves. I'm going to maybe try to do a fermentation of them. I've done that with the little mini cherry and grape tomatoes that I've had, and that worked out very well. The tomatoes are delicious, and so that's a great new thing we're going to start doing. And I think I'm going to record myself doing that with the peppers, and we'll see how they work out. That's usually a pretty quick process. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to just harvest the peppers now, and then pick up as soon as I start working with the peppers themselves. Okay, so I'm pretty much set up here. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to ferment the peppers, and here I have a bowl of peppers all washed with the little stem things taken off, the little stem pieces taken off, all clean and ready to go. These ones are not 100% ripe. The ones that are 100% ripe are over here. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I'm thinking maybe I'll make a jelly out of them or something, something neat. You don't really need to dehydrate any more peppers, but I did do fermented cherry tomatoes 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they turned out beautifully. So now I kind of want to do that with these peppers. At least it's about 40 peppers here, so I'm sacrificing them for an experiment. I have my jars all set up. They've been thoroughly washed and sterilized, and they're sitting here ready to go. And I also have a few other things that I think I want to put in. I've got bottled water, spring water, which I want to use. I have a few extra ones over there, but this is what I used before, and I think it worked very well. I also have some flavorings that I like, cilantro, some garlic, some oregano, some cumin. So I'm going to just put a little bit of flavoring in, and as they go, the peppers will definitely absorb these flavors, and that'll make them all the better. Okay, so the first thing that I am going to do is I'm going to measure out 1.5 tablespoons of sea salt. Now you can use, this is Atlantic sea salt. It has no iodine in it. It's not iodized. And it's important that whatever salt you use, it's an important part of the process because it'll kill any microbes or any bad germs that are present on peppers. In this case, peppers. Whatever you're using, so the salt is an important part of the job. But the iodine will prevent the good microbes from doing what they're supposed to do, because this is actually a probiotic process that we're doing right now. It's actually very good for your internal health. And the spoons that I have 1 tablespoon, then I have some teaspoon, half a teaspoon. Well, it would be 3 tablespoons for 1 liter, but these are 500 milliliter jars, so I just use half the salt. So here, I'll put in 1 tablespoon, and this is finely ground, which I think is going to help. And I think if you put in a little bit more, that's fine, as long as you don't put in less. So that's 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon, and then a half a teaspoon. All right, so I feel like heaping spoonfuls. Okay, now I'll just pour water in here. And I want that to dissolve. Dissolve, 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 dissolve. And if you don't say dissolve, 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 it won't. Dissolve, dissolve, dissolve. Okay, now I'm just going to leave. Okay, I'm just going to leave that off to the side here and not worry about that again. I'm going to take these 2 jars, and you'll see really this is a fast, easy process. Everything about this is pretty easy, to tell you the truth. But there are some dangers involved. I've got a few extra bottled waters just in case. I want to use the bottled waters, not even like a Brita filter, which we do have, but I really want to take no chances with this at all. I don't want to use my tap water in any way, shape, or form. So yes, so this is what I will do right now. So now I'm setting up the 2 jars that are going to be holding the peppers. And I'm going to put in some water. I didn't know this was going to be so much fun. Oh. Some little black speckles that came out of the salt. Are you worried about that? Okay. Put this over here. And this over here. And I think I'll just begin by just putting in a few peppers. Okay. And I'm going to put in garlic. Woof, I can already smell the garlic. And I'm going to put in some of the cilantro. Okay, I didn't know I was going to need that. So I'm going to put in a few twigs of, or sprigs, sprigs into the water. And what I smell the strongest is the cumin. My wife and I love cumin. I'm not sure I'm ever going to get her to try these peppers. She doesn't mind peppers. Not that these are particularly hot. They're actually Peruviano Arancios, which is the only kind of pepper that I grew this year. If you're interested in finding out more about why, well, I've talked about them quite at length during my earlier videos. Yeah, I can actually smell the cilantro coming up, and I think that's going to be delicious. Cilantro and cumin, and I also have the oregano. I don't know. I don't know about the oregano. I got to be honest. I don't know how it works with this. And I'm going to put in one spoonful of the cumin. Now, before we go any further, I think I want to give this a good shake. All right. Okay. I wanted the cumin, but I didn't really want the brown water. I think that's probably all the cumin I'm going to put in. Good, okay. So now that I've done that, you can really tell that I'm really experimenting here, right? Okay, so I can go like this, a few more here, a few more there, a few more here, a few more there. You could put in, actually at this point, you could put in tomatoes as well, and you can put in maybe some green peppers, I don't know, all kinds of different things. I'm going to put another couple of garlic cloves, maybe I'll put in one sprig of the oregano. I'll do that, and I think if when I do this in the future, maybe I'll look for actual cumin seeds, because I'm not happy with the fact that they're kind of, that I made the water brown, because I don't think that's very attractive. Oh well, okay, so now I can go like this. I can put more peppers in. If you had a lot of different kinds of peppers, it would be quite attractive. All different colors, man, that would be beautiful. Some orange, some red, some yellow, maybe a purple or a black prince or a pearl, something like that. Okay, so now, oh, I think that's enough water actually. Okay, now, so what I've got here, and what you can see, is that I've got this quite full, and there are peppers that are sticking up out of the water. Now that's not a thing that we want to have happen, because the potential is, not necessarily, but the potential is that if they're sticking up out of the water, they could attract some bacteria from the air, and you could end up with a mold happening on the parts, because it's an anaerobic process. The fermentation happens in an airless environment, and that makes it perfectly safe. Put a few more in there. And the bacteria that thrive in an oxygenated environment, they're the ones that you have to worry about. Okay, so you want to push them down under the water somehow. If you fill a plastic bag or a little baggie with some water, you can shove that down into it and hold them down with that. Okay, so I've got that. I have pushed down, and because I put too much water in to start with for this process to happen, I put it on the plate and I just pushed in whatever. Now what you're going to see here is that it can go in and out, and now I can see that all the peppers are underwater. That's the most important thing here. Didn't forget anything now, did I? Okay, so I'm going to give this another good shake here. Make sure this is on. What you do from this point is you leave it like in your kitchen, on the counter, somewhere out of the way where your wife won't get angry at you. And you'll want it to be clicking like that, because you'll know when the gases begin, which could be as fast as tomorrow. You won't be able to do that. So that's how you test it. So I'll have to sit in on the counter, and every 12 or 24 hours, 12 or 18 hours or something, I'll just walk by, and if it goes like this and I can't push it down, then that will tell me that the gases are building up. I have to burp it. So then you just open it up, allow the carbon dioxide, which is the gas that builds up, let it out. Oh, that one works really well, but this one's a little quieter. And that's all that there is to it. Now in about a week, it'll be ready, and then put it into a colder place. So if you've got a cold corner in your basement, a cellar or something, that's great. I don't really, I wouldn't trust it, so I put it in the fridge, and that's what I'm going to do with it. Good, and that's it. that's all that there is to this. I just come over to make this a little bit easier to see. It's a lot more beautiful when it's not all cloudy with cumin, but maybe that'll just make it taste better. I hope it will. And that's all that there is to it. It's a pretty fast process. Good. Back over here so I can say thank you for watching, and I will pick up again in about a week, and we'll open it up. We'll take a look and see what they're like. Thanks. So when you last left your hero, that's me, a week ago, I had just finished, it's called canning, but of course they're jars, canning these two jars on the left. And you can see that the water is quite brown, and that's because I used the cumin powder, which I will never do again, because I think I would just rather use cumin seed, and then that would have made it a lot nicer. Now I did have some peppers left over. I had the other jar that I used that I was using to measure out the water and salt, and I still had you know, all the ingredients. So I made a third jar, which which you could see is a lot clearer and nicer because I didn't put that ugly powder in there, and the powder was never going to blend. Oh, never mind, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Anyway, but it does smell nice. All week I have been burping the jars. Last night, as a matter of fact, what's happening is that the fermentation process, put this back on here, the fermentation process results in salt actually building up around the top, but the salt kills all the bad bacteria, and what happens is that the good bacteria is consuming sugars and creating a fermented product, which is what these are. Fermented, and they'll last for months and months, and I think because of the thick skin of the pepper, in this particular case, I think they'll retain a bit of their crunch. So, so part of the process results in the production of carbon dioxide, and then when you've got these jars sealed up, there are jars that you could get that release the gas, but I don't even know where you'd get those. I have no idea, actually. So I'm just using regular jars. And the top, which ordinarily makes a clicky sound, I think if I push hard, I could do it. I can on this one. I can't on this one or this one. What happens is that the gas rises and forces up on it. And last night I actually heard them popping and banging in the kitchen, so I had to release the gas. That's not great. So it was a good thing that I was conscious of it. But what happens is that at least once a day I burp them. So this is what it's like. And I'm just going to see if I could just do this. You can hear the gas escaping. So that's what we're listening for. You can actually see the bubbles rising, and some goes over. And then you just wipe that all off and you seal it up again. And there's a very gaseous, it's actually a lot like dill pickles. No dill in here, but I guess the garlic is probably what does it. See, and they all do that. So that's the fun of that. Now these are ready, I think. It's been a week. It's been exactly a week, and I think that's enough. And here they are. So that's very neat. So, so this is what they're like. They do retain their heat. They retain their flavor. They're a bit on the salty side. They're not overly, this is not overly salty. And it does have a crunch to it, which, I mean, imagine being able to preserve your peppers months into the winter, and it still is crunchy. The heat's good. Yep. And also, it does have cumin, cilantro, garlic. It's got some nice flavors to it. So anyway, that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and that you'll make use of this process for your own peppers, and you'll enjoy doing it. Thanks for watching.